Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Closer Experience. Before I say good evening, what I really should say is Happy New Year. We just rocked it and woke up in this 2024, and we're so happy. Isn't that right, Pastor Tony?
Exuberant.
We're so happy to be in the land
Is
of the
that a word?
living. Exuberance, yes, it is a
Okay.
word.
I'm just
we're
saying.
we're
Janae, is that
so
a word?
happy.
Did we just make that up?
Oh my
Oh, okay.
gosh.
All right.
Yes, we are so happy to be here with you and to come to you in this format. We've taken a little break. We enjoyed our holiday. And so now we're coming off the holiday with God and some fresh creative ideas. And not only that, just some new
Mhm.
opportunities that we're gonna do with the
So we
ministry.
got our look, baby. We got it.
We have
Is
on
this
our
our swag? I
it's
mean, is that
it's
what it's
it's
called?
one of our swags.
One of
It's
our
it's one
swags.
of our
Okay.
favorite swags. It's a
Okay.
it's a swag item from last year, but we love it because Black leaders do
Yeah.
matter. But we'll talk about that
Yeah.
later.
But listen, I want to throw this commercial in there also. It's 2024 and my wife is still cute. So, that right there works, because some people wife got a little ugly in 20, but my wife is still cute. So I'm sorry if that didn't
That is
trend.
not what we're
If
talking
if
about.
if yours didn't go over to the next year, I'm sorry, but mine is still cute. So I just want to plug that in there. But go ahead, honey.
I apologize. If this is your first time joining the Closer Experience, we want to let you know that it's about growing closer to God, it becoming the best version of
Yeah.
you. And so every Wednesday, you never know what you're going to get when you log on to the Closer Experience. The Leadership Church has some of the best leaders on this side of Atlanta
Absolutely.
that is available and ready to pour inside of you. But 2024 is the year of connectivity. Pastor Tony, tell them about it.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. And thank you for a great 2023 together. As we talk about connectivity, I think one of the first places that you have to have that, especially as a leader, is a great connection in your home. As I think about what connectivity means, which is a joining together. And then if that connectivity is not right, then there's, some shortage in the connectivity.
Yes.
There's some buffering. Sometimes, baby, the internet, we have that connection.
Oh,
We get upset. There's some buffering. So thank you
yes.
for a great 2023 as we move into 2024 connectivity. But I think about it as we as a ministry and as leaders talk about this idea of 2024 and the year of connectivity, that it's all about transformation.
Yes.
To me, I made a few notes here. And to me, when I think about leveling up with your connectivity, it's really about driving transformation.
Yes.
And, to me, this connectivity serves as a catalyst for transformation.
Yes.
When we lack in a particular area, we can connect with a more than enough source, and that moves us to a higher level through that connectivity.
Yes.
You talk about that 1,000 there.
Mhm.
We just can't seem to get past 1,000 there. Like,
Yes.
it's like everything I do, I just can't get to that $1 million place. And then all of a sudden, he or she connects with the millionaire.
Mhm.
And now what seems impossible
Yes.
because that's that transformation,
Yes.
leveling up that connectivity that has just brought them to the next level.
Yes. I'm thinking about the scripture that says, is it be transformed by the renewal of your mind? And because we're talking about transformation
Yes.
and plugging into the right source.
Yes.
And a lot of times we're not experiencing the transformation like we could be experiencing transformation because we're not plugged into the right source.
Yes.
We're plugged into some stuff.
Right.
But we're not plugged into the right.
Yeah, we're connected to some
and
stuff.
we're connected to
and
some
to
stuff
some people
and to some people
and to some places
and into some
and
places
to some things
and into some things, but we're not connected to the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
source. And so we miss opportunities to be transformed in our marriages,
Yes.
to be transformed in our finances,
Yep.
to be transformed in our education, in our
Mhm.
careers, in our family
Yes.
life, in our health. We miss those opportunities to be transformed or even to level up in those
Yes.
areas because we're not plugged into the right source, or we're not connected to the right source. And so being connected
Yes.
to the right, you said nouns
Yeah,
basically,
that's exactly. Yeah.
right? Being connected to the right now means so much. I just did, I'm sorry, not just did, but last week, a friend of mine posted on LinkedIn. She was giving a shout out to her spouse, basically saying that he was the secret to her success.
Wow.
And so I commented and I said, I too have a secret sauce to my success. And I wanted to shout out my husband because I said, outside of God, I know that I'm connected to the right person. And
Yeah.
who you connect with means
It means
everything
everything.
to you. It means everything. And so in 2024, when we start talking about relationships,
Yes.
we need to make sure that we're connected to the right people.
Yeah, yeah. I'm reminded of, and this is a text that I'm going to talk about on Sunday. But I just want to share a little excerpt of it. And you talk about this idea of connectivity, and I'm reminded of the woman with the issue of blood, and she tried everything she knew, but it wasn't until she came and connected with the carpenter.
Yes.
This carpenter named Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And she had heard about the carpenter, but she didn't know him. She wasn't connected to him.
Mm-hmm.
And she realized that her healing may not be in the place and the things that she'd always connected to.
Right.
May not have been in the things and the places she's always known. Now, the story tells us that when she finds him, there are too many people between him and her, blocking her from reaching him.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us, if you think about it, honey, that the real issue of us connecting to the right sources is just too much between you and that right source?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say it like this. And she realizes that I've got to do something to ensure that this connection happens. And what does she do? The Bible says she gets down low and she touches the hem.
I want you to pause right there,
Sure.
though. Because I think you may have hit on something a little bit when you talk about that we have some blockers,
Okay.
right, that prohibits us from connecting like
Yes.
we should. And sometimes busyness
Yes.
is a blocker
Yes.
from being connected to God.
Yes.
It really is. We're doing some good things, but they're not God things.
Right.
And they're not producing transformation.
Right.
That goes back to what we talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of different things that prohibit us,
Yes.
even when we try to get down low, to take time to be connected with God, that hinders our transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this, excellent, honey. So this woman, she finds her way to that connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's an excuse up above now. Too many people in the way.
Yes.
She says, I've got to erase excuses
Yes.
to my connectivity.
Yes.
And what do I have to do?
Yes.
If it takes me getting down low,
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens? She's healed from something that's been bothering her for 12 years. Here's what I'm saying about this idea of connectivity and what I believe God is saying. We got to find our way to the place of possibility. And it may be a crowd, but it can also be one person in the crowd you need to connect with that can change your life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you've never met them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you know very little about them. Maybe you don't even have a current relationship with them. But that doesn't mean that they don't have the power you need. Yes. To be healed, to be made whole, or to become wealthy. So just maybe now, yes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, baby. Yes. Just maybe.
Yes.
This is just Prophet Tony saying this.
Yes.
Just maybe your answer isn't in the crowd that you currently run with, right? The crowd that you've always known. but maybe it's in the crowd of strangers with that one person you need to connect with, and you got to go find it.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree, and everything that you said is so powerful because we lack the ability to tap into our purpose a lot of times. We miss those opportunities to tap in our purpose a lot of times when we are not connected to the right source, right? And so we're trying to figure out life, and we're trying to figure out things on our own in our own strength, and then we miss God and we miss those moments every single time. And so in 2024 for me, it's all about, I want to say P squared, if I had to throw something out there, it's all about progressive purpose. It's about being progressive in what God has called me to do.
Now, when you say that, what do you mean by progressive?
Well, I mean that you should be evolving.
Okay.
You should be growing. It shouldn't be stagnant. Progressive means that you see the value in your purpose, and you may do some personal or professional development to make sure that you're tapping into the top potential of your purpose. Because sometimes, a person can have a lot of potential. You say, if you just applied yourself, right, then I can see so much in you if you applied yourself. Well, this is beyond application. This is about, next level. This is about leveling up, because God has, I go back to the talents. We talked about it last year, when God gives us each a talent according to our ability, but it's still up to us to produce something. And so when I'm thinking about progressiveness, it's about, okay, God, I'm outcome driven. So I want to make sure that when you come back, that I got something to show for, to say I produced something.
Yeah, everything about, that's good. Everything about what you're doing should be seeking a result.
Yes.
A higher result. One of the things, as I think about this woman with the issue of blood, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. She shows us that connectivity can be personal. That it's not just that you touch everybody. Remember now, she's in the crowd. Connectivity can be personal. It's not that you touch everybody, but you touch the
right person.
The right person.
Yes.
You understand? Because we've got people who
they're
all over the place, and they're touching a lot of people, but they're not in touch with the people who have the power to bring them change. And that's what this 2024 for me is about. It's about this personal connectivity, meaning, am I connecting with the right source, the right people? Because some of us like to talk about how many people we know, but the problem is, do you know the right person? And I'll end it with this. You hold a power for my life that no matter how many other people I've touched, it ain't nothing like once I touched you. And on a real strength, I'm going to be real personal about this, sweetheart. That's what you were for my life. You understand? There's a lot of people a lot of young ladies I came into contact with, I connected with, but the personal connection that was going to change my life was when I touched you. And I'm saying, to me, that's the issue, that people are so happy about how many people they connect with, that they're not realizing they still need to be the right connection.
Right. So it's not necessarily about the quantity, it's about the quality of the individual that you touch. I like to think about how, since you brought up the woman that had the issue of blood, how she went bankrupt, right? She had exhausted all her resources trying to figure out life and heal herself, right? And so it wasn't until she decided, oh, okay, I heard about Jesus, and I'm going to take advantage. I'm not even have a conversation or arrange a meeting or see if I can. I'm just going to go all in and try to see if I can connect to him, you know.
Mhm.
And you're right, she did. I'm pretty sure it was a very crowded space. She did touch a lot of people, but she didn't. Nothing happened until she touched Jesus. And so my walk away for 2024 is this. You know, you may be touching a lot of people and you have connected with a lot of
Come on.
people in the past, and you may have gone bankrupt, right? Meaning that you have exhausted all your resources,
Energy,
time,
treasure,
treasure,
uh-huh,
all of that. You've tried your very best.
mental space.
Mental space. Oh, we ain't going to be talking about the mental space. You are totally exhausted because you have been plugging in and connecting to the wrong source. But you know, in 2024, you have opportunity to get it right.
Exiting the familiar.
Yes. Yes.
Baby, guess what this woman had to do?
Yes.
She had to you know, the normal way for her to be healed was through a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The normal way was for her to be healed was
Right.
through how much money you can spend.
Yes.
What happens when the familiar is not working?
When it's not working.
What happens when the connection with mama don't bring? Okay, and then we gonna just toss it. We don't have that much time, and I know my wife can speak on this. What happens when you have to review your life?
Yes.
And the connection or the connectivity you have had, if you were honest with yourself, hasn't produced anything but memories. My God. That's all it's produced. It hasn't produced more wealth. It hasn't produced a healthier life. It hasn't produced joy and happiness. You're still miserable in life. You're still not happy about where you're at. And you got all these connections, but it hasn't produced anything. This woman's dealing 12 years.
So let me say this. It's and because I am not a gray area person, right?
Yes.
I struggle being in the gray. But what I realized that there are more gray area people that I'm called to minister to. So a lot of times I have to extend grace to people who can think in the gray, right? And so what I have learned is people like the camouflage version. And so, you know, if you think about different animals that can camouflage, like lizards. Our first thing, like a lizard.
Geckos. Is a gecko? Is that the same as a lizard, Janae?
It is. Gecko? It is. Okay. So we're here together. Okay. And so a lizard basically can come into your house, and if your wall is gray, they can turn gray, and then they can blend in, which is camouflage, just like how everything is, and you can miss it.
Yeah.
It's the same concept when it comes to connectivity or relationships. You know, people like the camouflage version of a relationship because that's familiar to them. But anything that stretches them beyond the feel good, which is more accountability, which requires more discipline, which requires you to really tap in, to go in hard, to get out of your comfort zone, stretch more. That's the part that's leveling up, that requires that allows you to tap into true transformation.
What I like about the right connectivity is probably the most empowering aspect of the right connectivity is how it grants access to a new world of information and resources. You hear what I just said? Like, the right connection is empowering because it grants access to a new world of information and resource. And that's what we're talking about. Remember now, you said leveling up your connectivity. Like, how does this connection with this person brings me new information and new resources that will change my life? And I'm just saying, guys, can
I make it personal real quick?
I can.
I want to make it personal. I really do. I want to make it personal because, I mean, there were times in my life where I realized that I needed a coach, right? That I needed someone to help me identify and connect the dots. And I think a lot of times we don't connect to the right people because we have fear of the challenge, you know, fear of someone saying, okay, you've been doing some stuff, but you haven't been doing the right stuff, right? But I really think it boils down to in the moment if you really, really, really want to get better. If
Yes.
you really, really, really want change. Like,
Mhm.
do I really, really want to grow in my finances?
Yes.
Right? Because if I sit down and I want to be better this year in my finances, then I need to sit down with someone that could help guide me. And it may not look good. They may have to look through my check registry and to see where I spent gone to Walmart or misappropriate funds. And then now they're saying, okay, you got to do something different. Or they may look at my health chart and say, hey, your cholesterol number is way too high
Mhm.
and your BMI is way too, is the BMI number over what, I mean,
Yeah,
over, under,
yeah.
right, yeah. So you need to lose,
Yeah.
cut back.
I
and use a
always do
little
that with
few
the
pounds.
BMI because the BMI
What?
does not mean black man index.
I know,
Because
but
that is not, we are not built like our Caucasian sisters and
Right,
brothers.
right.
And we've been trying to tell them for years,
Right.
stop measuring
Yes.
us like you measure yourself. But
he
I
digressed.
digress.
Yes, he digressed. Right. I'm gonna bring him on back. But the
That was
thing
good
about
though,
it,
babe. Black man index.
yes.
Okay.
So, but it does boil down to results. It does boil down to what does the data say, you know? And a lot of times peeling it back and looking at those,
Yeah, it's ugly sometimes.
yes, but we need that because that's the only way we can get better. And so make sure that you're connecting with someone that challenges you to get
Yeah,
better. Because
yeah.
look, we challenge each other to get better, but
Yes.
outside of us,
Yes.
we have a village.
Yes.
You know, I have a village that helps me
so
get
do
better
I.
career-wise, professionally, spiritually, someone that challenges me, you know, and just business-wise, entrepreneur, everything health-wise, you have to make sure that you're
Yeah.
connected.
I think we're looking for, I want to use this acronym.
Okay.
What we're looking for is MI, measurable improvement.
Measurable improvement. Yeah.
Because some people say they improve and you say, well,
Right.
show me how.
Right.
That connection.
Show me the proof.
And I'm going to say something I said to someone I was coaching the other day. And I said, the problem with people who call people best friends is I want to understand what best means.
Mhm.
Like, are they best friends who make you laugh, but you still remain poor?
Mhm.
Are they best friends that make you laugh, but you still remain unhealthy?
Right.
Are they best friends, but you still remain in the apartment instead of owning a home?
Yes.
Are they best? See, define to me what best means. And I think some of us are 30, 40, 50, and we're still not concerned about the connectivity and the measurable improvements, meaning I can show you exactly the positive effects of what it means to be with this woman, this man, this group, these people, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That woman with the issue of blood, she had measurable improvement.
Yes.
She was bleeding 12 years. She connected with the carpenter, Jesus Christ himself. What happens?
Mhm.
She stopped bleeding. Can you not measure that? You can say in 12 years, I was bleeding.
Mhm.
In the 12th year, I
Mhm.
connected, and we got to just start dealing with that.
Yes.
How you feel? I mean, tell me what you feel about that, honey. That level of personal accountability where we say, as I look at this connection,
Yes.
are there measurable
Yes.
improvement? When you married me, and you look at 20 years now, can you say there are measurable improvements in your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And without that, what are we doing?
I don't know. And I know somebody is watching this tonight saying, Pastor Tony and Pastor Alicia, you just rolled over my toes. I know that.
Right.
I feel it through.
Maybe with the truck, you know that truck when you're backing up and it go, beep, beep,
Yes,
beep,
yes.
beep. That's a big truck. Yeah, it's on your toes.
Yes, yes, I do. I feel you. I really do. And I will commit to praying for you
Yes.
as this year begins and you have to make some serious and hard decisions about, you know, the nouns that you're connected
My
to.
God.
Because for for a lot of us, we're creatures, habits. Was it creature habits? Habits, what is it?
Creatures of habit.
Yeah, we're creatures of habit, right? And so
comfort creatures.
we're all of those things, and we get stuck into habits that don't lend us any type of progression. It's because it's always been done that way. We can't even explain why. And it's very hard for us to break those old habits and begin new habits. And some of us, we will start new habits and just live there for a little bit because we are great starters, but poor finishers. And so I want to commit to praying for you this year that you begin to connect to God in a way that will blow your mind.
Because if you don't connect properly to him, he can't guide you.
Yes.
So that's your first level of connectivity.
Right.
Like, how is that? Like, did you opt for the basic package with Jesus Christ? You know how we do with the internet? And you're like, I'm trying to save money. So what's your lowest package? Well, we got one for $20.95 each month. But the problem is we have blackouts from 6 a.m. to 7 at night.
And it's only going to require 5 minutes of prayer.
Right.
And so 3 minutes of reading your word.
But that premium package, it costs more, but you get more.
Right.
That's what you want. You want the premium package with God in that connectivity.
Right.
Because I'm really been, in all seriousness, I'm really concerned when I see people who, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a place that they attend, I'm really concerned when I see a double-digit years of connectivity, and then the results look like we just met, like we haven't had any in-depth connection. And here's the other thing I want to say: you be worthy of connectivity.
Yes.
Because sometimes we're so looking at other people, and if they're worthy of connectivity, you be worthy of connectivity. In other words, you be more learned.
Yes.
You be a greater resource. You read more. You work on your life so that when someone connects with you, like the woman connected with Jesus, honey.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? You got some power.
Yes.
Connectivity is about power.
Yes.
So if I connect with you, it ain't no power. Jesus said, I felt the power leave me.
Yes.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
If someone touch you, will any power leave you?
Right. Ooh.
If somebody touch you,
right.
If someone connects in your life,
their life is gonna get better.
Okay.
Right. That and I think we have to adopt that as our own personal brand and our own personal story. That, when someone connects with me, and when I come into their life, I add value to them. Like, I'm not subtracting value. I'm actually adding value, or I'm multiplying value to their life. And so if that's not your story, then I have to go back to your connection to see, is God pouring into you, and how is he giving you wisdom on how to touch the lives of others? Especially here at the Leadership Church, we want leaders to make sure that they are duplicating disciples. And we want you to, especially in this space, to be very connected to everything that the ministry does, and make sure that you are benefiting from what we as a ministry can offer. I mean, wear us out with your spiritual gifts, run us down and say, oh, I can do this and I can do that. And when are we going to start doing that? That's how you make sure that you're connected to the right people. And not only that, but you're sharing and you're duplicating yourself.
Yeah, because it's not just connecting with us. We got to connect with you.
Yes.
Like, so we need to be able to pull something out of you.
Yes.
We need to be able to, at night when my wife and I talk and go, since we've touched sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so,
we got better.
We got better because they have some power. And they had something to yield and give and something to share that made our lives in the ministry better.
And we know that it's in you. We do. We already know. We see it. I think it's just 2024 is the year to level up. I think 2024 is that year. Like, if you've been holding back, I think this is the year to go all in. What do you think, Pastor Tony?
All in on connectivity.
Yes.
And I know our time is coming to an end, but I got this story that's so amazing. There was a connection that you and I had, and I introduced them to another couple, and now they're meeting with them
Yes.
this weekend because they're trying to level up.
Yes.
And they're saying, we desire to be millionaires. So guess what? We said, well, let's connect you with someone who is already at that level.
Yes.
You got nothing, nothing's wrong with the thousandaire, but if you're already a thousandaire, you got to
Yes.
connect with a millionaire.
Yes.
Leveling up and challenge yourself. Am I worthy to be connected with? That's what do they say? Start home.
Yes.
Start at home. Start with yourself. But then, are the people, the places that I am connected to worthy of me being like, what's the measurable improvement that I've seen or can ascertain from that connection?
Yes, this year I'm excited because we are going to talk a lot about your financial wealth. With the last name Cash, we cannot
Right.
ignore being better financially, and so that's something that's always a part of our teaching and our preaching curriculum to make sure that we are producing financial healthy believers. But not only that, we want to also challenge you mentally and spiritually. So make sure that you are joining the Connect 21 days prayer and fast
Yes.
with us. And we would love for you to just continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. That's the best way to connect with the Leadership Church. But if you are part of the ministry, we are within the app all day long.
Yeah.
We have a blog that
Yes.
we're kicking off this year. We're so
Yes.
excited
Woo-hoo.
about that. And again, the closer experience. You never know what's going to happen on Wednesday when you log on. So make sure you log back on next Wednesday, same time, so you can meet who we have coming to the mic this whole month in January. Again, it's Happy New Year to you all from the Leadership Church and from Pastor Tony and myself. God bless you. Good night.